Hey, how's it going, everyone? And welcome to another episode of the cast here at Celestia Radio. It's your host, Matthias, joined with my co-hosts, Nat and Dalit. How we doing today, gents?
Yeah, going around melting over here, so don't mind me. Apparently, storm's about to happen, but I haven't seen or heard anything other than this humidity.
Oof, that's rough. I'm doing all right. It's nice and mild here. I think we're into the 60s. This is what happens. North and South Hemisphere.
Oh, you guys are so fucking lucky, man. It's awful.
Right now, we're lucky right now. In 6 months' time, that will no longer be the case.
Yeah, it'll be the switch. I'll be like,
I live in the same place, the one place where all year round it's never really less than 80% humidity. And, temperatures don't usually get lower than 60 in the winter. And by winter, I mean the 2 weeks that we get. That number changes every time I mention it.
Sure does.
Because it's not a lot. It's always very minimal. But yeah, it's so I understand how you feel. I do. Especially considering we've had a lot of rain recently. So
lucky. I wish it'd rain. It would be much better.
No, that just makes the humidity worse.
Nah, but rain, bro. Bro is the clutch here. Like it just feels so much better when rain is here.
But weather aside, we're out here, we're surviving.
You know what's not surviving though?
Yeah, we'll get to that. I've been over here completely absorbed in my own world, knocked out Metaphor, so I've just been grinding.
Yes.
Have you
Honkai Star
have
Rail?
You finally officially finished Metaphor?
No, I'm at the same spot.
Oh, goddammit. I got so excited for you.
Bro's doing the fucking Final Fantasy VII remake thing. Like, Matt, just finish it on my agenda. Come on.
It's on my agenda, man. It's been hectic, all right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I had to finish the event in Star Rail because I needed the resources, man. I needed the resources. And it was a what are they called? The music games, where you keep the beat.
Rhythm games?
Rhythm game. Yeah, it was just a rhythm game. That's all the event was, and it was really quick and easy. And I'm like, I need to knock this out so I can get the rewards, and knock the story out too, because it just Boot Hill's the best. And I'm super excited. Was summoning to see if I could get Rappa. Lost the 50-50, so no wrap up. But it means I'm on guarantee, and Sunday comes out next patch, so I'm getting me a Sunday, and I'm happy. Because apparently Sunday makes Jingyuan meta again, and I'm just like, yeah. So.
For the briefest moment, just the briefest moment, my brain went, why are they good on one day out of the week? Completely forgot about Bird Boy. I'll be honest. Completely forgot about him.
That's fair. But don't worry, listeners and co-hosts. I'm not here to talk your ear off about gacha games, though I could.
Just wait. It's coming again.
While I've been, busy in Star Rail and Metaphor and watching anime and reading manga, I have been pretty busy for not having a lot of time.
You've been pretty
But while I've been doing all that, these guys have been playing a particular beta.
Yeah.
So I'm going to hand it off to you guys.
Yeah, so Dol and I actually played a real fucking game called...
Oi, Metaphor's a real game.
No, not Star Rail. I was implying Star Rail. Monster Hunter Wilds beta, open beta test.
Correct.
Yeah.
Though I wouldn't say we put all of that amount of time. Nat, did you play both versions of the test, the PS5 through to the PC, or were you just on the PC?
Just on the PC.
So yeah, we only got 2 days out of it, to be fair.
Yeah, which is annoying as all shit. I don't know.
It's a little annoying, but actually a whole lot, to be honest.
Wait, was the beta test a few days on PlayStation and then a few days on PC?
If you pre-order Monster Hunter Wild,
wait, that's really
on the PS5, you get 2 days of
No. It was for specifically PS Plus.
Was it PS Plus?
Yes.
Is it?
If you had PlayStation Plus
5,
Yeah.
though? Okay.
I mean, yeah, because
Okay.
the game's only running for PlayStation 5. If it was running for PlayStation 4, presumably they could have gotten in.
Yeah, so if you have PS Plus, did you also need to like pre-order it as well, or is it just the
I
PS
don't
Plus?
think so. I didn't hear anything about needing to pre-order it.
Oh, okay. Well, if you have PS Plus, you get to play Monster Hunter Wilds 2 days early for the beta test for some fucking reason, and
Was
not
it only 2
PC.
days?
Was it 2 days or was it 3 days?
I thought it was, so the way I was hearing about it, because obviously I saw that there was going to be a PlayStation Plus section, a timed section,
Yeah,
which is
pretty sure it
not
was like
different
2
from the
days.
PC. Yeah, which is not different from the PC version, by the way. We all got the same demo. People
Mhm.
playing on the PS5 just got a couple extra days with the game. So I'm not actually that broken up about it, but it is weird.
Odd that they do
It's
it on a
weird.
beta test.
Yeah, it's, I mean, I know that's one of the big things that Sony wanted to start doing to justify one of the ranks of their PlayStation Plus was like demos and betas. I just didn't think that they were going to, you know, do it.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless,
So it wasn't that they only had it for 2 days; they just had it 2 days
Yeah, they had
early.
it 2
earlier,
days more.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, they had 2 more
Okay,
days.
I thought it was.
No.
I thought y'all were saying they had it was live 2 days on the PlayStation, and then it went off the PlayStation, and then 2 days on the PC. I was like, what?
What I'm trying to get at is the PS5 had like 5 days of playtime while we only had like 3. Is what I'm trying to get
Correct.
at.
There you go. That's what it is.
Yes.
It's just that they had some extra time. That's all it comes
Yeah,
down
which
to.
is I just find that really weird for a beta test when I don't know. It's like it yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be exclusive to PlayStation 5. My assumption is that it's not going to be.
I don't
And
think
that's
so
the
as well.
part. Yeah, and that's the part that's like really the only part that kind of throws me off. Because like previous games were exclusive to the PlayStation. It's like, okay, well,
Yes.
you've put money into this, you've bought exclusivity, you gave them means by which to finish their game. That's fine. I'm pretty sure this is going to be on the everything.
Yeah, and it's cross-platform. I'm pretty sure they confirmed that, didn't they?
It's at least on PC.
Yeah, it's on PC, it's on PS5. I'm pretty sure it's on the Series X and S.
Yeah.
Like, unless I'm just having a weird aneurysm or something. I remember the big deal being crossplay for
On
everything.
everything.
Bar the Switch.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure
It's
this
on-
game's not
it's
coming
on
out for the
Series
Switch.
S
So
and X as well.
yeah, there you have it. There you have it.
So you got a few days with it.
Sure.
Yes.
Yes.
That's the key point. You didn't get the full time with it because they did a few days early on PlayStation or whatever.
That's
But you
correct.
got some
Yep.
time with it.
We got the full
That's
experience.
the point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what did y'all think?
Uh
Talk about it, guys. What y'all got to say about it after playing it?
However you'd like to begin, Nat. You're clearly leading the show. So
oh god, no, please don't say that. I will start freaking out again. Let's do positives. Alright, so it looks good. Even though it's very brown.
that's just because of the one map we had.
Yeah. But I mean, like, you know, it looked good. Personally for me, and I think for you as well, Dolan, our PCs could run it completely fine, 60 FPS and all that.
Yeah, I didn't have any issues, and there were many that we will get to.
Oh yeah. Server stability. Now, personally, I think this beta test was more of a server thing to see if like what they say can actually be done, because what Capcom have said was they want 100 people in the lobby, but obviously outside we're not getting 100 people fighting a fucking monster, right? But yeah, 100 people in a lobby, and boy, it got up there. It got into like 70s and 80s and all that. So very nice. Again, for me, I was like completely fine, but a lot of people, oh, they were struggling. They were struggling.
Yeah, let's take a quick break away from positives and negatives, and let's just cover this as an idea, because
Okay.
you absolutely nailed it. Graphically, this game was beautiful. I genuinely am stunned that they were able to get away with this. And stability-wise, connectivity was grand. I
It
didn't
was.
get disconnected for any reason. If I was in, I was in,
Yep.
and I could step away from it for a bit of time and come back, and I wouldn't get kicked. It was great.
Yeah.
But there were issues, like stability wise, and I think it mostly came down to hardware. This game is stunningly taxing, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Like you said, you and I didn't really have an issue. I will be upfront. I have a 3060, 3070
Hey.
Ti, so it ran this just fine, solid 60 with one exception of, and guys, Capcom, you can't have everyone spawn into the same little area. What are you doing? Like, you gotta spread us out somehow.
Yeah.
The base camp was rocking a glorious 20 FPS.
Yeah. It was,
But meanwhile,
it was certainly something.
I was out in the world during a real-time sandstorm. I didn't get a frame drop, really.
That was great.
So, I don't know if it's a VRAM thing. I don't know if it's just a lot of people had outdated cards. I do think it's weird that Capcom wants to push this hard, but I guess they're still thinking of like consoles, and anyone who isn't going to be able to play this on PC will just play it on the console they have. I don't know. This is mostly just my issue with games being problematically intense now. But from a from an optimization standpoint, I think it's mostly good news. If you have a computer that is built and up to spec with the recommended, you probably had a great time. If you didn't, your monsters might have looked like polygons.
Oh, those Nintendo
Or slideshows.
64 polygons. Those were funny.
Well, it's the weirdest thing, Matthew, because I'm sure you saw what I'm talking about. But
I don't know. I watched some people playing it, but all the people I was watching were content creators, so they had
They would have
very stable rigs. So-
exactly.
I'm surprised you just like weren't on Twitter or something and didn't see like all the 2D style monsters that happen.
Oh, my Twitter is only anime, dude.
Okay,
That's
cool.
Yeah.
that. My Twitter has been very hyper focused recently.
Quite
Let
a lot
me
of
explain what I mean.
7 polygons going on.
Exactly. And you mentioned that you expected it to be a slideshow, and even for people that got this weird happenstance with the creatures, they really weren't getting a slideshow.
Yeah.
It was running at whatever frame rate the game was going to run for them. It was just loading in characters, and I guess monsters technically are characters, but like all characters as these weird hyper low poly models
Yeah.
that moved and animated and you could do stuff with, but
Yeah.
whoo boy.
Like you could actually physically count the polygons on the model. That's how low
Oh,
it
yeah.
was.
No, like
It's
Matt
so
is not
fucking
joking
funny.
about like full on FF7 level. That is entirely correct.
Yeah.
I'm Googling this. I want to see images.
And you'll
but
find
yeah.
it, and if you don't find it when we're finished, I will find it for you.
Yeah.
Because it won't be hard.
Oh,
It's very interesting
my
because
goodness.
when I was streaming it, I had to bump. Well, not had to, but I personally bumped it down to medium because got to run VTube model and yada yada and all that bullshit, right? But like it was running fine, and then when I stopped streaming, I don't have to run all my other stuff, all the extra stuff. I put it up to like the highest I can get, and it was still running fine. So yeah.
I didn't ever jack it to like ultra. Maybe I should have. But yeah, no, like I was getting solid 60 the full time through on high, so
Yeah.
I left mostly everything where it is. I think I might have taken mesh up to high and everything else I just left alone.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good time.
You weren't kidding. This is Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, I wasn't
Oh,
kidding.
Yeah, and yeah, no, it's wild seeing
Wow.
that move at like 40-ish frames per second. And it's like, gosh.
Oh man, I bet it is actually.
Yeah, it's like, okay, yeah, my guy, something about your Your rig said you
I
shouldn't
wanna
be
watch
doing
Finally.
Finally,
this.
after this.
PlayStation 1 Monster Hunter is finally back.
I'm going
Wait,
to
was it
YouTube
PlayStation
vids
2? It
after
might be
this.
PlayStation 2 when it first... Regardless, you know what I'm...
It did. It came out on PS2, but this is clearly what it would have been like back in the day.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, I don't know. I think they unintentionally found peak right here.
So-
I think this is what we
Bug of
Actually, so you joke about this. Someone made a mod for World already.
Yeah.
Bug or feature.
I knew the modding community would have my back.
I've literally already seen Wild's quote unquote Fatalis. It's amazing, fantastic.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like from a stability standpoint, this game is odd, but
also
we
good
know they're
at the same
working on
time.
older. Yeah, we know that this is an older release. I don't know how much that actually matters. I feel like that's something that companies often just say to avoid blowback in the moment.
Yeah.
But more importantly, with this being like a proper beta period, not the amount of time we were given, but the amount of time between now and release, I imagine this is something they'll probably be looking to rectify. Because all of Twitter and Reddit dragged them real hard. Like, this was actually... We laugh about it as players, because we don't actually care.
That is true.
This is a small black eye on the development of this game right now. This is not something they're laughing about in-house.
That is true. Yeah, no, you're right. But yeah, but thank God they did a test period instead of officially releasing and then having this problem. So,
Right, because this is not an issue on the PlayStation 5, which means it's likely not to be an issue on the Xbox Series X.
Interesting. So this is just a PC thing.
This is just a PC thing, but if this is happening on PC, it's probably also going to happen on the Xbox Series S.
Right.
My guess. I'm super unimpressed with the Series the Series S, and that's been hamstringing their whole console launch this generation. They need to drop it.
Right.
Or at least stop trying to get parity with the X, because it's a problem.
Yeah, just go back to the original Xbox. It's not that hard.
But yeah, like that was the standout issue had, and admittedly, Monster Hunter fans are good sports about it. So long as they're able to play, they managed. I'm sure people suffering from this either found a workaround or just popped over to the PS5.
I don't know. I think they found the way it was meant to be played. I think that's what happened.
Hey, like you said,
feature.
Peak. Yeah, feature, not bug.
Yep.
Okay, so that's cool. So like I said, I watched I don't know where y'all are gonna go, but I'm gonna just take it in a direction.
Sure.
So I watched a few people play because, lo and behold, new Monster Hunter, and everybody plays Monster Hunter, especially,
everyone plays it now anyway.
Well, yeah, especially people involved in Japanese fan culture and stuff. So, VTubers played it. So I think like every VTuber I follow was playing it at one point or another during these few days. Whether it was the Hololive girls playing, or I watched Hinya playing, I think. Mouse played it at one point, I think. Though she may have been playing with somebody else, not actually streaming it herself. But like there was so many people playing it, and I was watching well, you guys know how I watch streams. I was watching it happen. And at one point I did actually sit down and watch I want to say Hinya play, and it looked like they were fighting that new like railgun looking dragon.
Yeah, we can talk about the new monsters.
I was kind of surprised by that, because I was like, oh, wasn't that their like face monster for this game?
No,
they're letting them fight them in the beta.
No, that is literally just the apex of the zone. There's a completely different monster that's the flagship.
Yeah, the white ray.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is just like the get hype for this one zone monster.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, because everything that we'd been seeing in game shows and stuff, made it.
Yes.
They kept showing this one railgun, dragon off, and I'm like, oh, that's really
Yeah,
cool. I
he's pretty
guess.
fucking
Yeah.
I
cool.
guess that's their. I guess that's their flagship. That's their
It's an
face.
understandable stance to take, but Monster Hunter doesn't show the flagship off for as long as they can.
Yeah.
So in this particular instance, Raydao being the strongest monster of the grasslands anyway, was the monster that we showed everything around because it's a pretty good monster to get by a bunch of the new mechanics, the weather mechanic, the fact that lightning strikes can happen randomly from environment and not just monsters. There's a lot that plays into what this particular monster was good at showing off.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, we've only seen we've only seen the flagship in one trailer so far.
Was it the
So-
newest one, or was it the?
Yeah, it was
one-
shown off in the most recent trailer where they're like, "Yep, finally, boom! Here's the cover. Here's how the game
Yeah.
is going to look."
Yeah, he's got a.
But they held
big
off for a
tail.
very long time.
I'm gonna have to go look at the newest trailer because I guess I haven't seen it then.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, no, Raydao was pretty good. Do I want to say like introductory or like very high, like low monster? Because I thought it
Yeah.
was pretty fucking good.
Yeah, it was good. It was nice to see something in this. I was afraid they were going to give us a Rathian, and Raydao is
Yeah.
not a Rathian, which
Yeah,
feels
thank
very
fuck for
good.
that. Yeah. Because like if we've
Uh,
fought a Rathian, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I know what you've done. Yep, you fireballing. Yep. Oh, you're gonna triple charge it. Yep, okay. Yep. You're in the air. Okay. Yep. It was none of that. It was like, railgun, big railgun, and then he does like he's got like these fucking like it's not claws, but like this like blade on his wings and all that. And
yeah,
he
it's got
uses
wing
that.
blades.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
Dive bombs. I saw some dive bombs. I know what happens.
Kind of. I mean, yeah, it'll dive at you and then rake its wing blade along the ground. It's a really cool monster. It's easily
Mhm.
the best of the beta. We had
Oh, yeah.
access to three different three, one,
Four.
two, three, four different monsters to hunt.
That was my next question: was how many did y'all actually get to hunt?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there were four available to hunt. There was a bunch of little mobs on the maps, obviously. So for everyone who's interested in like the endemic nature and the endemic life of the maps, there was plenty to see on this map because the whole
Oh,
map was
yeah.
there for us. But in terms of
The maps are pretty big, I guess. I should ask that.
yes,
One of their
they
features.
are fucking huge.
Wait,
And-
is this the small animals or the big ones?
Hmm?
What was huge?
The map itself.
Oh yeah, the map. Oh yeah. No, the map was huge. Yeah.
And because this was by and large a pretty flat map, all things considered,
Mhm.
there was subterranean stuff to go through. So there was a lot to take in on this map. And given the time I had, I really didn't take in everything. I would have loved to sit there and just like do a circuit, getting tighter and tighter on everyone and just like trying to take in the full map. But I didn't have time for that. But yeah, like there's a lot. And this is just one map of at least 3. We're probably looking at 5.
Yeah.
Maybe only 4. Maybe 5 comes with like future DLC or something.
No, I think it's gonna be 5. But like the fifth area. Oh, actually no, it might be like 4 and like 4.5 because like Xenojiva was like in his own like little special area. So like
Yeah.
so yeah, like 4.5 maps we're gonna get something like that.
But the Windswept Plains, at least I think that's what it's called. Absolutely beautiful. It showed off the core mechanic of having like 2 different modes, having like a lush green mode, and then boom, big sandstorm wipes it, and it's chaos. It's great.
Yeah.
But back to the questions that you initially asked, there were 4 huntable monsters. There was the
Technically
Oh, God.
5, but that's technicality, but yeah.
technically 5.
So you had toad monster, frogmon.
Yeah,
And then
we
you
had
had the worm,
Chupacabra,
and then you had the chatty, the worm monster, and then
Balahara,
you have a Dogamara, Alpha
Doshikuma.
Dogamara, and then Day
Well,
Day.
I'm gonna be honest; those are the same mob. One's just slightly.
I know, but like it's again technicality, but realistically it is 4 or 5.
Like Nat said,
Yeah,
yes, we had Chupacabra, we had Doshikumas,
yeah,
we had
chatty.
Balahabras, and we had Raidao. That's 4 different fights over a couple of different difficulties per fight, according to people. I just went into whatever the highest one was, and it was great. I mean, don't get me wrong; they're not all great fights.
No, the worm
Chupacabra
one
is a
fucking sucks.
moving. I didn't have an issue with it. Chupacabra is a moving dummy, which is actually genuinely really good for testing weapons.
Well, see, I agree with that, but personally, I think they should have just put in a fucking training dummy, a hitting dummy in the demo. I don't know why they took it out after the prologue. Like seriously.
I'm sure there is one in the main game, but there wasn't one in the
Oh, there will
demo.
be, but
So
like for,
I
for the
am
bait.
happy. I am happy there was a monster there that I could go in on weapons that I've not played in years and just mess around with. Doshguma was probably like the big monster that got all the screenplay before Raidao. So there's probably another one that you're somewhat familiar with, the giant lion bear dog thing.
Uh,
From the first trailer.
no, I
Oh,
don't. I don't
really?
think I saw it. Yeah.
Oh, well,
If it, okay, I guess if it was in one of the early trailers, I saw it then, but I don't remember it.
fair. That's probably what it is. Because like this was the monster that came running in and the sandstorm behind them, and we had to fight them in the sandstorm in the
Okay.
first trailer.
Yeah, I vaguely remember
Yeah,
that.
this is that one.
All the fights I saw on stream were the railgun dragons.
Yeah, of
Yeah, I'm not
course,
surprised.
because a lot of people are used to Monster Hunter now, especially after the 5th generation, and none of the monsters really pose much of a threat except for Raidao, which could absolutely just delete you off the screen.
It's so fucking funny.
But yeah, like the first three monsters are various levels of get to know your weapon, and Raidao was the capstone. Are you actually wanting to test yourself?
Yeah.
Because there's main ideas at play, and I thought they chose 2 good monsters. I'm not sold on Dashiguma yet, and Balahara was. I think it's fine, but I also fought this with a
Nah,
weapon that I know how to play, and then with dual blades. So
nah,
I had a great time.
that monster fucking sucks, man. Bro's
Uh,
fucking taking the skeleton of Plesioth, and it's like, oh, here we go again.
Plesioth.
Is it Plesioth or is there's no other
No,
worm?
it's like a Lagiacrus or like a
That it's not
Mizutsune
a
or
Legaia,
something.
Chris.
It
Oh
absolutely
god,
is.
is it?
It's a little Leviathan.
Oh god, it might be. Ew.
I'm
Regardless,
I'm
it
not
fucking
asking. Like
sucks.
I'm telling you, it is a little Leviathan.
Don't say that.
That's
Ew,
its class.
you fucking ew. But
Um,
regardless, yeah, I don't really like the worm one. Everything else was like fine to good.
I had a great time. I mean, I feel like this just leads into the next obvious question of we had 4 monsters to fight. What did you hit them with?
You are correct, sir. What were y'all's thoughts on the weapons or
Oh my
that sort of
god.
thing?
Do you
Okay,
have strong feelings that want to go first?
okay. Just before we get into the weapons, just one quick question to you, Dolan.
Hmm.
Did you think the combat in this game felt slower than previous iterations? And by
Not
previous
really.
iteration, I mean Rise and World.
Well, Rise, absolutely, but that's not fair.
Yeah, well, yeah.
World, World, I feel like it's about comparative too.
You think so?
Yeah,
I personally feel like Worlds is slower,
maybe. But I don't know. I think it's comparable to World. I think Rise feels like you're on crack the whole time because of
which is great because I
The
played
wire
dual
bugs.
blades. I played dual blades in Rise, and I kept up with the pace of it. It was fucking great. But yeah,
I mean,
Rise is
I
its
put a
own
lot
thing.
of time. I put a lot of time into Rise. I'm still not sure I like that arcadey feel. I think they really needed to tone back our mobility and strength. I think Rise is a fundamentally fine, even really fun game. It's just if you got strong, you got really strong.
Oh yeah, it was great. It's fucking great.
Wilds does feel like the beginning of World though, so it feels slower. It feels more concentrated. That's gonna go away by the time we hit endgame and we get buff
Oh
again.
yeah.
But
Yep.
no,
Yep.
it is what it is.
All right. Okay. Now, actual weapons. So I did start off with greatsword because oh, there was a reason. What was it?
It's the first weapon given to us in a cutscene.
Well, that as well. But they said some changes, and so I was like, okay, I'll try a greatsword. But yeah, so greatsword, first weapon. And the micro changes they've made to greatsword and also adding in the focus mode, yeah, no, greatsword is it's really fucking good. It's really
Super
fucking
is.
good. Oh
Yep.
yeah. Yep.
I also, when the cutscene finished and they took the greatsword, I just kept it
Mm-hmm.
because I was like, yeah, this makes sense. I'll do the Monster Hunter thing. And greatsword is, regardless to how much they dote on longsword, the signature weapon of the series.
Yeah. Nah,
It
exactly
felt
right.
really good. It felt like it charged about the same speed.
Mm-hmm.
But as someone who doesn't typically play greatsword, I never got like the quick charge stuff. So I was right at home. Its
Yeah.
offset felt really good to hit.
Yeah.
We'll get there with
Yeah.
offset attacks. God,
Oh, we will.
like
uh,
literally the only downside I have to the starting greatsword is it looked dinky. That's it.
Nah, I like it. I actually kind of like the slate design or the slender design
Yeah, it's
personally.
fine. It's fine. I guess I'm just used to big
Oh yeah, same.
like guts weapons.
Yeah. No, I don't blame you, but like it just yeah.
This kind of leads into like a side conversation we have to have about the weapons, specifically the larger weapons in Wilds, because whilst I did play the great sword, the hammer, and the charge blade, there were points in time where I was enjoying myself, but something wasn't feeling right. And I could never figure it out. I played for like 2 days and change, and I just couldn't put my finger on why I felt like I was enjoying like dual blades and the lances more.
Mm-hmm.
Someone pointed out that they were pretty sure there was no hit stun in the game, no hit lag. Hit
Yeah.
lag, hit stop in the game, which makes sense. That's not something that isn't new. Sorry, that is not something that is new to the series. That is an established thing, and especially
Yeah.
on bigger weapons, it's what makes those hits feel meaty.
Meaty feels like like the impact of it. Like you can feel the impact of the weapon on hitting the
Yeah,
monster, but there's none of that in this, which is oh boy.
I feel kind of
Uh,
silly about this because greatsword was not the weapon I didn't. It's not the weapon that I noticed this missing on. That
yeah,
was
I
a
think
different
they
one, which
did a
we will
very
get to.
yeah, they did a very good job somehow hiding that that wasn't in the game for Greatsword because again, like just Greatsword by itself, with its little micro changes and the free mode, it just feels good, and
It
it
does.
is
It felt
probably
great to
going
play
to
as.
yeah. It's easily going to be one of the. I mean, it's already a popular weapon, but it's still going to continue to be one of the most popular weapons in
It's
Monster Hunter.
top three for sure, right? It's like if I had to guess, it'd probably be longsword, dual blades, greatsword.
I would say
Greatsword
you're
might
two
even
out
be
of
two.
three correct. Dual blades. Who knows? We'll see.
But
Um,
yeah, that first hunt went fine, and I didn't really notice anything wrong with the greatsword at the time because, admittedly, that was the first hunt. We had just gotten into it. It was my first. I was getting to grips with the game. and I was just learning. I had so many like new mechanics to deal with that I wasn't paying that much attention. But I remembered enjoying myself in Greatsword.
That being said, though,
Hmm.
now this is mostly just obviously just playing worlds for the first time. As I've mentioned, the free mode, is it called free mode? I think it's called free mode. I didn't really use that mostly because I didn't understand it and it was new and I was like, I don't like change. So
Oh, do you mean the
Grateful
focus mode?
Oh, focus mode, that's the word. Yes, the
Right.
focus mode. Sorry. But yeah, the focus mode, because again, new, I don't like change. So it was Greatsword was a little bit iffy, but as soon as I started incorporating the focus mode into Greatsword and to just any weapon, it felt just a lot better.
Yeah, no, focus mode is essential, and it feels really good to use once you
Yeah.
can kind of like wrap your mind around remembering to do so.
It's literally kind of the clutch core from Worlds, well technically Iceborne, but like you can
Oof.
play without the clutch claw, but like once you start incorporating that, oh boy.
I would go so far as to say you really can't. God, like Iceborne's biggest mistake was the clutch claw and having to tenderize every like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Um, this feels better integrated, and it just feels like it's not an upkeep thing. It's literally
No,
have you
thank
wounded the
fuck for that.
monster,
Mhm.
hit the monster with your focus move to do something really, really cool.
Oh yeah.
And as we've said a billion times before, we're fans of cool characters doing cool things.
Absolutely. Hey, speaking of cool characters doing very fucking cool things, Longsword.
I
Yeah.
didn't spend much time with this.
Oh.
It's got 500,000,000 counters. I did 2 of
Okay.
them and was like, cool.
Okay. This is
This
what
is
I'll
still
say about
doing longsword
Longsword.
things.
Okay. We're about like 2 major Monster Hunter games away from Longsword just playing as Devil May Cry 5 Virgil.
I maybe I don't. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to take away from that.
Run that one by me again?
Longsword, in terms of its move sets and style, we're like 2 major games away from Capcom just saying, fuck it. This is already the anime sword. Let's just make it into Devil May Cry 5 Virgil's gameplay in our own Monster Hunter game. Because they're both owned by Capcom.
So that's what, like the fighting style is
It's
fully
really
focus
fucking
mode, you're saying?
fluid and flashy, is what I'm trying to get at.
It's definitely both of those
Okay.
things. I think comparing it to Virgil's a bit much, but
That's why I said two
yeah,
major games away.
but yeah, it is. It's super fluid. I think
Oh
this is
yeah.
a weapon that also you don't notice the lack of a hit stop, and honestly, that probably makes the weapon feel even more fluid.
Oh, absolutely. Because it just goes through everything and it just feels so much better than, you know,
I think this is a weapon that needs to have some complexity back. I think it's too easy to get to max stacks and just do an incredibly outrageous amount of things. This weapon is actually, in my opinion, too easy. I hate to say that. I sound so fucking gatekeepy. But you have
uh,
like 5 different counters that give you invulnerability.
they give
Getting
you
to
hyper
red,
arm on fucking everything that isn't just the basic combo. It's fucking
yeah,
ridiculous.
and getting to red and starting to do the big longsword loop of get red
Yeah.
helmbreaker,
Yeah.
get red helmbreaker. Super
Well, it's
easy.
not just
This
yeah.
I'm sure there's more to it. Like I said, I only played the weapon twice. Once in a raid owl fight, and I got disappeared, and once against the toad. This weapon is so fucking strong. Like the
It's so
biggest
fucking
downside to
strong.
this weapon is if other people aren't carrying flinch free, you are the worst player in the lobby. Big
uh
weapon, it will trip everyone.
yeah, but it's 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 so fucking good because when I first played it, like I was, because like I believe it or not, I'm not a longsword player. I know that's kind of a surprise to people and all that. But when I first played it, I was like, damn, this feels fucking good. And then I start to actually learn like its new like moves. and start incorporating it into like the gameplay loop, which is red helm splitter, and then you do like the final attack with the follow up to helm splitter. Oh, it's just so fucking good. It's so fucking good.
Like,
So
it
much
is,
damage.
it's the most popular weapon for a reason.
Yeah.
This game will be no different.
Oh god, no. Yeah. So I'm considering meaning longsword for this game, at least just for this game, because of just
Cool,
how
I'm not
good
playing
it
with Nat for like 2 weeks until I get flinch free.
feels. Yeah. Yeah, longsword, very
This
good.
isn't for listeners. This is a joke, by the way. This is just a long-standing Monster Hunter joke. Longsword players are the worst. No one actually means
The
it.
most
We don't
toxic players, fucking longsword players. Get out of my way. I'm trying to cut the tail.
Oh, I always thought the ones people hated were dual blades.
care. No, longsword. Easily, longsword gets the most hate because it's the most popular weapon.
Longsword and
Oh,
insect
okay.
glaive.
I
get
always
the
see
most
people
hate.
hating on. I always see people hating on twin blades, so I just assumed, oh, that's just the one everybody likes to hate on.
Oh,
Nope,
man.
I don't hear. I actually didn't hear anyone really even ever talk about dual blades until World.
I'm pretty sure there was some character tripping with dual blades, but dual blades are so fucking short range.
How
like,
you would have to stand on top of them.
I think that's exactly why they were just
Like
fucking
unless
stacking
you're a
up on
hammer
the,
bro, unless you're a hammer bro sitting on the head and the twin sword, Jesus, the dual blade walks up on top of you and starts swinging. In which case, yeah, they're in the wrong here. I don't see how
Yeah.
this is an issue.
But yeah, no, it's longsword. That's like, okay, bro. All right, I'll incorporate 1 point of flinch free into my fucking build because you want to be
You
that
have to.
guy. Yeah. Yeah, no, longsword very good, and once again, it's still gonna be popular because of how
Oh, it's gonna be the number one.
fucking anime it is. Because
Oh yeah, it really is though.
bro, it does the for its mounting finish attack, it does the whole fucking Virgil thing where he sheets and ching, and then it does multiple strike. It's so fucking good. It's so cool. All right, any other weapons you want to talk about?
Yes, because I played most of them. Dual Blades was interesting.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't typically like this weapon in Monster Hunter. I just feel really naked and fragile with it.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of wilds, specifically because of the wound mechanic, which we will get into in a bit,
Mm-hmm.
I think I was in the air more than an insect glaive person.
That's not hard to do anymore in wilds as an insect.
So they say. So as an upside, it did feel really cool because like I got to do
Yes.
the meme. I was just Levi Ackerman every like
Yeah,
not
you were-
Ackerman, no Levi, whatever
Yeah.
Levi's last name is, every
Yeah,
10
no,
seconds. I don't fucking know. I didn't watch that show.
But yeah, you fucking Attack on Titan,
yeah,
big monster, and it felt really fucking good because of all the hits you done. Yeah.
And on larger monsters like Balahara and like Raydao, if you go tip of the nose to tip of the tail, spinning like a pizza cutter, yeah, it feels really good.
Oh yeah.
The downside to this is because that is kind of reliant on the wound mechanic. You can get it on offset terrain as well if you're jumping or just sliding down.
Yeah.
But the way you're going to get it more often than not is wounds is as when I wasn't playing dual blades, as someone who plays something like Charge Blade, the only way I know to get into pizza cutter mode, into Savage X mode, is to hit a wound. And if you have a dual blade player in your party, all they're going to be doing is trying to hit those wounds. So you will never activate that.
So that's the. I don't know if we want to talk about it right now, but I kind of want to talk about the whole wounds mechanic because
it's pretty core to this class, clearly.
It is, especially to insect glaive. But the wounds, I think there's going to be a higher. There has to be a hierarchy for who the fuck, or not hierarchy, but like who prioritizes the wounds over each other weapons because just jumping ahead just quickly into Insect Glaive. Insect Glaive's wound attack. Once you successfully do it, you get all 3 buffs, and that's very core to the fucking weapon itself. While
Okay,
in terms of
straight up, I immediately disagree with your whole idea. I'm
Why
just
that?
gonna put this out there.
Why is that?
Mostly because this is clearly meant to be a you wound it, you hit it immediately, you get a bonus thing. And it is a bonus. I understand that Insect Glaive does need its 3 nectars to work, but as anyone who's played the game will tell you, that's part of your rotation. Like, you can do that. Like, it's not, you're not reliant on that to engage the mechanic. It would just speed it up. Like, I'm sure playing Charge Blade, I can get to, like, the Savage X mode another way. I just don't know how to do it yet. And I wasn't paying enough attention because things were dying way too quickly. But wounds, it's just supposed to be a friendly bonus. If you had a hierarchy, it just means some weapons never get to use them.
Well, that's pretty much what I was going through, because like all Dual Blades is doing the attack on time thing, which is just damage. But like for Insect Glaive, you get your buffs to actually, so your weapon can actually do its job. But like I don't know. Like I agree with you. Like I don't think it is going to happen. But like runes give buffs or refill something. So for longsword, it replenishes red state or red bar,
which they desperately need.
Yeah, so it like that's why I'm thinking to myself, like technically there's a priority, but whether or not people actually do it is obviously another
No,
thing.
There's a much easier way than all of this. I would never make it priority based. The easiest thing to do is don't make it a consumable state. The wound goes up when the first person uses the wound, it should just start a short countdown before the wound goes away. The fact that it's used up the moment it happens means that if the dual blade is just sitting there spamming their focus attack, they're going to get it all the time. But if they do that with this extra little bit of time, it means someone else can also take advantage of that wound and also benefit from it.
Right. Yeah, so you're thinking like a 2-second timer for everyone.
Just a little timer. That way, if you both see the same wound and you both go for it, one person doesn't have to. Exactly, one person doesn't have to get
No, you're completely right on that. But since that is not currently the case,
don't think so.
I feel really fucking stupid saying this because I know it's just not going to happen, but I'm still going to say it anyway. But there might potentially be for the player base to make a fucking priority system for the wound attacks, but again, I don't think that's going to happen.
Good luck enforcing it.
Well, yeah, exactly right. But yeah, like, you know, there's just some wound attacks that are more beneficial to the weapon than others.
Sure, this is true. There are some that buff the weapon versus some that just flat out do damage.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they all do damage, but some just are solely damage based.
All right. Okay. Enough about wound attacks. Go back to dual blades and how it's weird but kind of good.
I mean, I think it's weird for me because I don't play dual blades, but I think it is exceptional to play dual blades. I like demon mode. It feels really good once you've gotten yourself into a position to like just go ham on a monster. I like I don't know what it's called, but like the critical dodge where you'll dodge through the monster the correct. Sure, perfect dodge. And you'll dodge through, you'll enter
into demon boost.
That's into a enhanced state. That enhanced state is amazing. Every dodge you do also does damage.
Yep.
That is fucking crazy. Dual Blades is, and I cannot believe I'm saying these words out loud because I've never said that, and I've been playing since 2 Monster Hunter, whenever Tigrex was introduced.
Possibly.
Dual Blades was my favorite weapon to play.
God damn!
And it was close, but it's Dual Blades. Dual Blades was super mobile. It had, because of the dodge, because I'm used to having to time things for well, I guess not anymore. That was true back in 4 and Generations, doing perfect guards. That came natural to me. Like, dodging through a swipe into doing a million damage feels amazing. And yes, their focus attack, which I am going to harp on for Dual Blades being absolutely ridiculous for staking all of the wounds, feels amazing to hit.
Oh yeah, it does.
Like, if Longsword is the anime weapon, Dual Blades ain't that far behind.
No, Dual Blades is the second anime weapon. Absolutely.
I've been hearing people be really excited about this weapon since World. I don't remember anyone in my network of people really being big Dual Blades people. But then World came out and everyone in the call, I think Matthew wanted to give it a try. Aqua definitely gave it a try.
I gave it a try.
And a couple other people, a couple other people like mained this weapon. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then Rise came out and became even more powerful. And I see a lot of Rise's DNA in Wild Dual Blades.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
I'm worried about monsters in the mid game. I feel like certain weapons are just going to absolutely devastate mid game stuff.
All right, cool. So my third weapon that I've played, greatsword, longsword. Do we want to get into switch axe? Because I really don't.
So
want to.
We kind of have to talk about it because I'm also gonna complain about this weapon.
Okay, I know we're skipping ahead because usually there's like technically a canonical tier list of like fucking which items is which, but like jumping a little bit ahead, switch axe. Yeah, I fucking hate this weapon. This weapon fucking sucks in this game. I don't know what they done to it, but like it does not feel good whatsoever.
So don't know about all of that, but this weapon was absolutely really rough to play as. And this is the weapon, more than Greatsword, more than Charge Axe, more than either of my lances, that I felt something was wrong while playing. In Rise, this was my backup. When I wasn't playing the Charge Blade, I was playing the Swax because sometimes you just need a break. So I'm familiar with the weapon. And whilst playing, like, I just, like, nothing felt right. This weapon, at least, if it's not true of everything, during my time playing the Switch Axe, there was no hit stop. It's not that it was reduced. It was nothing. It was like going through butter. It felt constantly like my attacks were not hitting.
Yeah, no, I agree. I've been playing Switch Axe since 3 years, so I know this weapon. And man, not even do. Oh my god, it just feels bad because like when you get into sword mode and you do your Heavensward strike to build up a huge amount of amp, right? There's this timing at the very end of your Heavensward swing that you can immediately go into a discharge or a zero sum discharge. That's gone. Like they've made like like a weird like pause, like weird like block window where you cannot like follow up your Heavensward slash with your zero sum discharge attack. It's really fucking weird. And I'm
gonna be honest, I didn't rely on zero sum in Rise because like once again wire bugs were too strong. I was just countering my way through every fight. So I didn't notice that. If that's something that should be there and is gone now, that's a shame.
Yeah, like it's like I don't know what to call it, but like once you do like the technical like jump attack, I mean that's not a jump attack, but you didn't like the animation is a jump attack and you slice down. When the blade is down, you can go into a zero sum discharge, but that's not there anymore. You can like it's like you're blocked from doing it, and then you have to wait till your like character resets its animation, and then you can do it. It's like, well, there's no follow up to its combos. It's really fucking weird, and they're really emphasizing on the it does, and they're really emphasizing in this, particularly in just this Wilds game, It's called Unbridled Slash, and then there's like a charged up amp version, which I'm already forgetting what it's called. And they really want you to rely on that attack over Zero
That's the
Sum
one that I did.
Discharge and Elemental Discharge.
Yeah, I think that's the one that I ended up going through, because I would go through like the whole of like furious slashing, and now just end in the giant like overhead slash that explodes.
Yeah.
Did a billion damage, but again, none of that
Yeah.
felt impactful. So I always felt like I missed.
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking on with Switch X.
I don't. I'll be honest. Like, by and large, I didn't have much of an issue with the weapon. But again, my understanding of the weapon is skewed by a game wherein I was just too powerful. But I didn't have any issue. Like, ground level, big swings from axe mode into transitioning into sword, transitioning back into axe, I didn't have an issue with.
Yep.
My entire issue was, without the feedback, this weapon felt bad to play as.
Absolutely.
But in terms of a weapon, I don't think I actually mind what I played as. It was very different from how I used it in Rise, but I knew I was cheesing things in Rise. So what are you
Rise
gonna do?
is its own fucking beast. We really should stop comparing this to Rise. We should keep
Well,
comparing it to
I have to say that because it's the only time I really make use of this.
I know.
So.
That's fair on your part, but like it was just really.
It's also the last game that came out, so
Yeah, that's also true. It was just really weird. Like it's not gutted. The combos are still there, but it's just the feel of it is gone or lacking, and it just makes you feel really bad. And I don't know why they've decided to put a counterattack that is worse than the greatsword on a switch axe. Like, yes, longsword has it, greatsword has it, hammer has it, question mark, and hunting horn has like a counterattack, but for some reason they gave it to a switch axe, and switch axe isn't about countering monsters. It's about literally moving around them, being fluid, and attacking them with like swift strikes.
Wait, when you say counter, are you referring to like the offset attack?
The offset, yeah, they have an offset attack.
Well, they're not gonna get the block one, are they? No, they had to give it the offset because it was the only option.
But like, I don't know why they gave him an offset attack when.
Because it was give them an offset. It was give them offset or give them nothing.
I would rather nothing. Because
the offset is just a free thing that you might get into if you're not aiming for it, versus.
But it's unironically so much worse than Greatsword's offset attack in terms of the availability window of offsetting a monster. Like I would just like, if they're gonna give us a worse offset attack, I would rather just have nothing. But that's me personally.
I don't see your argument, because my gut instinct is don't use it.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to use it, but like, I just don't understand the thought process from the devs as to why they gave Switch X the offset attack. Other than they gave everyone, which I don't think they did. The Dual Blades doesn't have.
No, I think there are certain weapons that just don't have something, or at least didn't have it labeled for us.
Right.
I don't have issue. It's a big old weapon with a lot of reach. I understand the offset attack. Obviously, they weren't going to give the guard attack to the Switch X because you don't guard with it.
You can't guard with it, yeah.
I don't think it's the worst thing in the world, personally, but you know.
I'm not saying it's the worst. I'm just trying to figure out why. Because it's because Switch X is all about moving, like sidestepping and all that.
I don't know, when you do a lifting strike, maybe once you're on the side, even if you're not lined up with it, you'll probably just hit the your hitboxes will probably clash anyway.
Oh, if
It's free
that's the
knockdown.
case, then cool. But I I don't know. Every time I've tried out, I've offset a couple of times on the Switch axe, but like I don't know. It just doesn't feel as consistent as like Greatsword. Greatsword's offset
Sure.
attack is so fucking good
Fair
because you
enough.
can also charge it as well, and it's so fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
Greatsword is just good in this game. But yeah, no, like I don't know. It just doesn't feel right, and I don't like it. Me no likey.
Bad vibes. I get it.
Yeah, I meant like in general, like the overall, not just the offset attack on the Switch axe, but like yeah, the overall thing on about the Switch axe changes I just do not like, and I'm just like, oh,
If
my main weapon.
if hit stop is put in and I see that the hits get chunky again, it's absolutely a weapon I'll give a go, just because
Yep.
I did last game. If
Mhm.
if it's not the case, I probably won't, because I also I liked what I saw visually, but I did not like the feedback I was getting. So
Yeah.
I only played the class once before I put it down and said no.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So what's your third weapon?
I'm just gonna put them together, Lance and
Oh.
Gunlance. I've been playing Lance and Gunlance since the beginning, before Chargeblade existed, because I needed a weapon,
Mm-hmm.
and these two jived with me. It's amazing to just sit behind your shield, and no, I'm no longer just poke, poke, poke. There's a combination poke at the end.
Oh my god.
The
Yeah.
changes for both classes. Actually, that's not true. Gunlance had a pretty major change.
Oh yeah,
Lance
they
feels
did.
entirely intact, and it's Lance is just comfy. It's a big old shield. It's the best shield in the game. You can tank everything. The retributive strike um off of the counter, it feels really good. I've never had a problem with their three pokes into poke poke back hop poke poke. It's never been an issue for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel safe in this class, I've always enjoyed using it.
Yeah.
What I will miss, or at least I didn't try to do it because it was a clutch claw thing, was guarding into clutch claw. That was a great mechanic from Iceborne. I hate the clutch claw a lot. I think that did a lot of harm to the enjoyment factor of Iceborne.
Mm-hmm.
But the mobility aspect of it for Lance was amazing.
Yeah.
I would like something like that back, even if it's just I don't know, like a well timed counter lets me latch on really quick and do damage and jump off. That's gonna feel real good. But Lance is
Yeah.
fine. Gun Lance is amazing. Holy crap!
Yeah. So I've
It's new
saw.
combo routes. Oh man,
Yeah.
like
Apparently, you have
I
like two Wyvern fires now. I'm like, god damn.
yeah well I mean that's fine. I don't really. It's true. You can Wyvern fire very liberally. It was the discharges that was really cool. There's a full combination that allows you to essentially get two full discharges and two full worm stakes
Oh
in one
fuck yeah.
combo. And
Yes.
this weapon's gonna do so much damage. I
I
guess they
know.
really took offense to fourth gen and before Gunlance pretty much just being told no. Like, this is just not a viable weapon.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like they took that personally, because it was very fun to play in World. It was so cool in Rise, and you can't fly with it in Wilds, but it's a visual treat. I enjoyed my time on both of these considerably. Its focus attack, specifically Gunlance, though, has the worst focus attack in the game. I'm
Oh,
just
what
putting this
is
out
it?
there. They just like the if you don't hit a wound, you stick out a little worm stake that doesn't stick into the monster, and it just kind of does 4 damage
Oh,
to the
right.
monster. It's
Yeah.
like tut, 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 tut. It's like, all right, that's lame as hell. If you hit a
Mm-hmm.
monster, it becomes like a much better charge. Sorry, a wound. It hits a much better charge, and then you get a stake put in. But it's really awkward. I don't like it. Um, but I can get used to that. And honestly, I don't even really want to be doing the focus attack on gun lance anyway, because everything else it's doing is so cool.
Yeah. It's so funny you say that. That gun lance wasn't exactly a fucking viable thing in 4 because that's when I actually first played gun lance was in 4, and I enjoyed it, but yeah, it was
I mean, yeah.
Yep.
Again, I've been playing the lances since 2, so I mean, they've never really been very exciting weapons, and they've never really been top tier weapons.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's mostly what I mean. Like every weapon is viable, but also some weapons are just way more viable than others.
Yeah, it's like, would you want to play the stabby, pokey gameplay of Lance, or would you like to be pretty close to Virgil with longsword? I think
Not at the time.
people
That didn't start for a long time, to be honest.
That's true, but yeah.
It was still the coolest. It was still the coolest weapon, but it was not this flashy.
Oh yeah, no. But yeah, Lance finally a playable weapon now because of luring pods.
Yes. Oh my god. I literally have this down. I called them provoke pods, but yeah, luring pods are the best because it's like an on-demand provoke. It's so good. If I have a big shieldy weapon, I want the monster to look at me. Now I can say, "Look at me." It's great. Oh my goodness, I love this. Witness me.
And Gunlance have a counterattack or like a not an offset, but it's like a clash. I think that's what's called.
Yes,
clash attack.
And all of them with shields, and I believe the greatsword have a clash attack.
Oh, okay.
Does the hammer have it? Whatever. These weapons for sure have it. It's great. I thought you had a perfect guard, a couple of different things. It's not even perfect. You've got so much leeway on this.
Holy shit, you're gonna get really?
Yeah, you're going to get the first clash in like 4 hits. And then it becomes slightly more difficult to get later on.
Yeah, it's not kind of because like Melting in a way.
Yeah. See, actually, that's a very good way of putting it. Like, it's the same type of thing. The reason you're not going to get a second or a third one won't be because you're not doing the mechanic right. It's just the monster will die first.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like the clashes feel really good. They felt great on specifically Gunlance because you just open up into its open mouth and rip those monsters
from the inside out.
Yeah, Lance and Chargeblade were still cool because you're just stabbing in there.
Yeah,
but like, I mean, they're not a gun. What are you gonna do? You're firing an actual cannon into the open mouth of a monster that is completely unaware of what is about to happen.
After 6 fucking gens, Lance is finally a playable weapon now. Let's go.
I take offense. There have been dozens of us. Dozens?
Yeah, quite literally a whole handful.
But yeah, those are pretty much all the weapons I did, except for Chargeblade. Chargeblade's great. Chargeblade feels amazing. You can't go straight into Amped Elemental Discharge, which I don't love, but it's fine. You can still get there. It just takes 2 more steps, and you can go straight into it after a guard point. So, I'm not exactly hurting.
Yeah, but like, you're just going to be in like Savage Axe mode most of the time anyway, so...
I mean, if the wound is there for me to get, yeah.
Yeah, just hit the monster doll. It's not that hard. Come on.
Yeah, I'm sure, like I said before, I'm sure there's another way into that mode. I just don't know how to do it. Yeah. But I would just hitting a wound going straight into the giant pizza cutter felt really good. I feel like it hits less times overall now.
I think it hits like four times slash max per slash.
Yeah, I feel like I was trying to like mash it out or something. I don't know if like I was just doing something wrong. That's fine. It still does so much damage. I love this weapon.
Right. Yeah,
I love this weapon, and now I can overcap my files and just do double. It's great. I love this weapon. Anyone who says this is a step down just isn't. They're not amenable to change.
No, you know what's a real step down though? Fucking Insect Glaive. But but is that before we get into that, you want to say anything else about Chargeblade?
No, it just feels really good.
Yeah.
It is changed. It is certainly changed, and to go into the detail of that would take too long. It's still fun to play as. If you've played it before, picking up new Charge Blade will come pretty naturally.
Yeah, so personally, I've not played Charge Blade since 4 years, right? Something like that. But from what I've seen, it looks pretty fucking cool. Pretty good, pretty cool. Does damage. It's yeah. For a grounded weapon, it's still pretty flashy. And the reason why I say grounded is because long sword and dual blades, like aerial quotation mark attacks. Yeah, so Charge Blade, pretty cool. Do we have to talk about Insect Glaive?
I don't have much to say. I've just heard people
Um,
say that it's the worst weapon and that it's mostly the same. I think it just comes down to how did you play Insect Glaive before? If you were someone who did 50-50 ground-based attacks and aerial attacks, you probably really like this weapon because not much has
well, that's
actually changed for you.
well,
But if you're an aerial Insect Glaive, je suis monte, yeah, you're probably feeling pretty bad according to people because you can't stay in the air for literally ever.
so okay. So thankfully, I'm a 50-50, right? But it feels pretty bad. Even just like the one vault, it felt pretty fucking bad. In Wilds. All right. So Insect Glaive. Capcom just for whatever reason just decided to clip our wings off because any form of aerial combat is dead, gone. Like it, like there's a couple attacks, but like they don't matter in the long run. The only one that truly matters is like the first aerial attack to mount onto the monster, but like after that, it's like why, why are you doing aerial attacks, sort of thing. That being said, though, we did mention the rune attacks. So for those hard to reach places, primarily like the large monsters and like the backs, especially if they've got like some sort of like hump or some shit like that. Um, Thankfully, Insect Life can actually hit those marks because you can vault and then rune attack in midair, which is really nice. That being said, though, that's like the only useful thing for aerial attacks is the first mount and hitting those hard to reach rune attacks. But yeah, no, everything has been grounded. Everything's changed in terms of like the actual buffs. Um, Red buff in previous games it was damage up and also unlocks additional like combos and all that stuff. White was haste, I want to say, and then orange was quality of life buff. So, like level one flinch free, level one or two earplugs, and there was like one other buff that orange gave. If you had all three, you go into less Super Saiyan mode or well, fuck, just the empowered mode, right? And that's when like the real damage happens for Insect Glaive. Um, that's sort of is still the case. But now red only gives you the attack up. It doesn't give you additional combos. I think white is still the same, and orange has been nerfed. They don't give you flinch free or low grade earplugs no more, which sucks. Especially for like the lower end monsters because being roared while mid ed it sucked and all that. But anyway, so they've nerfed the buffs. The only time you get your additional or like your enhanced combos is when you get all three attacks. But here's the thing: you're not going to be using your normal like basic attacks like your triangles and circles. What you'll be doing instead is um there's a charge attack with Insect Glaive when you can only use when you get all three buffs. And that's like the flippy doopy flurry of attacks. And there's also a finisher to that expands all three essence. And it does that like aerial like jump aerial attack where like all the bugs are spinning around you while you're also attacking. It's pretty cool. Um, it's pretty cool because when you hit that, because the bugs are also attacking with you, you can also technically recycle your buffs. So if you hit a monster or hit a monster that has like all three of your essence like very close, so like head, wings, and body have all different buff essence, and if you do that like that bug spender attack, you can recycle and get all three of your buffs back, which is pretty cool. Another thing
Sounds
is they
that way.
really want you to use focus mode, because when you're only in focus mode, you attack with your bug, and then your bug will give you your buffs, right? But if you don't focus mode, you'll just be attacking by yourself, and you won't be getting anything other than doing damage. So they've really grounded Insect Glaive. There are still some applications for aerial stuff, but just the fact it really sucks that the aerial portion of Insect Glaive in Wilds is gone. The reason why it sucks is because, to me, Insect Glaive is more about the raid DPS rather than personal DPS. And what I mean by that is, because Insect Glaive came out in 4, which was also the time or the generation where Capcom introduced the mounting system to Monster Hunter. When you mount a monster and you successfully finish it off, it gets knocked over, and that's free damage. That's what I mean by raid DPS, because that's what I mean by raid DPS. So it allows everyone to just freely wail onto the monster for free after you finish a completed mountain attack. And that's pretty much what Insect Glaive's job originally was. And the fact they just gutted that, especially since like Worlds, because like monsters don't lay on the ground for very long after knocking them down. They get up pretty quickly nowadays with the modern games. So it's just kind of like all these like weird nerfs and rework they've done to the Insect Glaive for a while. It's like, why have you done it? Because I don't know if it's player feedback or if the devs are thinking different ways of how Insect Glaive should be played out.
I'm going to be honest,
any of
it's
that make
probably
any sense?
Yeah, it's probably simpler than that. I don't think, for the exact reasons that you named, I don't think we've ever played this class correctly. I don't think it was ever once the ideal nature of the class coming from the devs to be mounting all the time.
You're right. It's not mounting
like
only,
they clearly gave
the
you 3
easiest
buffs.
way to do mounting, and that helps.
Sure. Back up again.
Okay.
You want to know why it was changed? It was changed likely because it was not being played the way the devs intended it.
Which
the
was
devs gave you a weapon.
Stuff.
No, probably not even. The devs give you a weapon that had a 3-stage ability list, essentially. And once you get all 3, it's your ground combo that changed the most.
Yes.
So when you have all 3 of your bugs, where do you suspect the devs wanted you to be fighting?
Grounded, but your
exactly.
Your aerial stuff does change as well. But yes, your grounded stuff is your most damaging stuff when you get all 3 buffs.
I think they wanted the buffs to be a lot like what what the demon mode is to the dual blade, and then because it also did stamina stuff, it would let you stay in the air forever. And instead of going for the occasional mount, knockdown, and then just going to town with the rest of the crew, people just like, but what if I was just Superman, though? You can't get me up here. I don't have to do mechanics up here.
Well, that's also another thing, because someone...
What if Superman?
Yeah, well, just what if Superman?
Sorry, that's a good thing you bring that up, because...
Again, this should also this is assumption. I'm not speaking for the devs. This is a guess.
But like, someone said online on a YouTube comment section that I just recently watched because I wanted to like have a fresh reminder of like Monster Hunter stuff, right?
Hmm.
Um, the vast majority, I want to say like at least like 98% of the monsters have no way of dealing with aerial targets. Like they
Exactly.
AI just cannot handle insect glavers being in the air. So
Yes, correct.
that's probably, I'm not going to say the main reason, but I do suspect that is one of the reasons, if not one of the primary reasons as to why they've
Yeah,
clipped our
I
wings.
that's yeah,
Because
that
yeah,
is a big part of my reasoning as well. Like, if you're in the air the whole time, you can't take damage. You don't have to do mechanics, and most monsters literally cannot hit you. Some flying wyverns can, and some like AoE attacks might be able
charges
to clip
can,
you.
because like that's a whole hitbox. But
It's
yeah, I understand what you're getting at.
exactly so
Yeah,
like it's just it was clearly not what they wanted, and I think they finally found a way to change it because they didn't want to change it in between Sorry, they didn't want to change it during a generation. They wanted to change it in between. So they found a way. Now,
right.
I am not saying that this is going to be a success, but I do see why it was done.
Hmm. I don't know. I just feel like it's just one of the, okay. So okay, we have 14 weapons in the game. Every single one of them should feel, or should, yeah, not only feel but also, I don't, maybe not say like play differently, but should feel different from one another, right?
Sure.
Like longsword should not feel like greatsword, but also dual blade shouldn't feel like lance, right? So when we finally get the one weapon that was introduced the exact same generation for not only mounting but jump attacks as well, and then you just get rid of that, all because
Well, okay,
we're just gonna
to be clear,
like
they didn't get rid of that. They have
well,
toned it back a lot.
I mean, you are correct, but
You still have the ability to jump, and you still have
yeah,
the
you still
ability
have
to fight
ability
in
to
the
evolve.
air. You just can't stay there. You will still be the class that gets the most mounting done. As Insect Life, because I don't know if you play Insect Life. But
Through me.
yeah, I don't know if that's like
Yeah,
your
no,
go-to class.
Insect Wave's my second main because I fucking love playing it in Worlds and Rise.
Okay. Like I knew you clearly did because you're clearly passionate about this. But like, yeah, no. This is still gonna be the mount weapon. Like
Well,
nothing is
no,
gonna be able to take that
absolutely,
away.
yeah. But like, it's just one of those things. It's like it like it's, you're right that they didn't just outright just outright get rid of just like aerial stuff, but the fact that they decided to tone it down severely, it just makes me go, what's the fucking point of me playing grounded insect glaive when I could just play longsword, which is just a better grounded insect glaive.
I got nothing for you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just like, I don't know, like I, I think okay, so the reason why I'm like I hated it, but like I'm not, believe it or not, I'm actually not that hung up, is because, I wasn't that person that just kept on, playing it in the air, and I was, and I do ground combos and all that shit, right? It's just, it's like, it just sucks, like, your one of your favorite weapons, like they just either heavily nerfed it or changed it for, I don't want to say the worst, but like they've changed a core identity of your weapon. You're like, damn, what the fuck, man?
No, and I get that. I get that because they did that to Charge Blade from one of the games to another, where it was not this big. The change was much smaller than this, and it doesn't feel great to have one of your weapons nerfed. But weapon has to be the dev's intention otherwise. Or
Right.
the devs need to be cool with the new intention, and they're clearly not. So
I just hope if they are going to keep us grounded, the next game, the portable game, if it is a portable game, that they
so we're clear.
build upon the ground, like the groundness of Insect Life, and make it more like fluid and all that. And just better players.
You keep saying the next game is going to be a portable game. You know the portable game and the main, so the portable team and the main team are no longer separate, right?
Wait, really? Since when?
Since like World.
Oh, well, I mean,
Rise wasn't made by the portable team. Rise was made by the team.
oh no, I'm saying portable. Like, I'm saying portable as in like the portable game, not like the portable team.
My point is, if there's no more portable team, there's no reason to think that we will be getting back and forth versions.
So you think that the next game?
I'm just saying it's possible. Yeah, I think it's I think it will be, but just because Nintendo's going to want a Monster Hunter on the Switch too at launch, but I just think it's possible that is not the idea going forward.
Okay, I mean, I'm just I'm just going off what World started, which is I say World started, even though the first Monster Hunter game came out on console, but it went like console, PC, and then it went specifically to the Switch and then to PC.
Yeah, it's just Monster Hunter's always just been wherever it has a home.
Yeah,
and it's just gone with how the game industry has gone, which at the moment, especially with the success that the Switch was, has been both consoles and portable. But that doesn't necessarily mean that that'll be the future of the series going forward. Right. Doesn't mean that it won't be, but it's no guarantees. The next game might be another console game. It just might be smaller scale.
What I'm trying to get up, next game, if we're going to be if Insect Life is going to be grounded, I hope the next game builds upon that and makes the grounded combat feel better.
I mean, that's just how this series works, though. Like we were saying earlier, Lance is not what Lance was in Freedom Unite.
Oh, no.
It's not what it was in Try. It's not what it was in 4. It has they have picked certain weapons that they've been babying, like the longsword, the entire way. Yeah. But they've also specifically chosen weapons that do need the help, and they do bring them forward. I suspect the new idea going forward will probably be Insect Life, because everyone else is in a pretty good stage of their life right now. I think Hunting Horn was in a pretty questionable place for a long time, and now it's in a great place too.
Yeah.
Anyhow, we should probably move on from weapons, otherwise we'll be here for another hour, and it's getting deep into this.
I just want to quickly say that when I was playing Insect Life and my mate was playing Longsword, because I was playing with him first time when we played the beta, it was pretty fucking cool, because whenever he helm splitted, I'd use the big aerial attack, and yeah, it looked fucking cool. So, cool factor.
It's fair, yeah. Hype as hell moments.
Yeah. But yeah, so so you just want to move on from weapons, because I haven't really played anything else. I've just seen and heard some stuff from other weapons.
I'm gonna be honest, I played some other ones, but I don't usually play them, so I don't have much to add. I'm sure people who do play them would have much more to say on it.
Okay, also real quickly, hunting horns are on Sword Side Watch, because you know how buffs persist, right? So hunting horn, you do your things, right? You go and sacrifice, then you switch your weapons, and then buffs persist, right? Fucking both bowguns, they have demon ammo. You just shoot it out of the ground, make your mount walk through it, and you get the buff. So you don't need hunting horn no more. So yeah.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Okay.
The demon ammo doesn't stack with demon drug.
No, but you just do it.
But if you drink your drugs at the beginning of the fight, the demon ammo doesn't do anything.
Yeah, but what if you don't have any demon drugs because you're an idiot and didn't restock?
I mean, that's cool, but you still the hunting horn's attack boost still stacks.
Yeah, but like it's just easier for bows. Oh, not bows. Bow
No,
guns.
the point is both of them work together. They stack on each other.
Uh,
You
that's
would
too much
want
effort.
both.
Fuck that.
Okay. Anyhow, moving on. I want to talk about the character creator because it's fucking goated.
Please do. That is the one thing from Monster Hunter I have seen.
Yes, I figured this would be a good way to get Matt back in. I'm so happy that you paid attention to it. Let's go.
Bro fucking fell asleep for like an hour.
Oh no, I've been reading comics. Don't worry.
Oh fuck yours. You know, during this entire
But
time, you could have like played Metaphor and beaten it, man. I'm just saying.
No, he could not have. Let me tell you.
Nope.
I know where he is. He absolutely could not have.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Definitely could not have. But no, I passed the time great. I was reading comics and other things. But yeah, no, I that's the one thing that did come through my like Twitter feed over all of this.
Yeah. So what are your
is
thoughts?
some character creation.
You get first thoughts on this one.
I'm impressed, man. They
Mhm.
they made some really like accurate things. Like the one that kept showing up for me was somebody made Yoshi P.
Yoshi P,
And-
yeah. It's
I'm
obviously
just
him too.
I know.
God, he
I'm
looked
like,
tired.
I was just like, bro, it is like a 1-for-1, and my mind just cannot comprehend how you managed to do this. And apparently somebody asked Yoshi P about this in an interview, and he said, I've heard that somebody has done this, and apparently I look really tired.
Yes.
Capcom, I'm sorry. I don't know why. And it's just like, oh, okay. But yeah, no, everything I've seen from this character creator, I'm just impressed, man. Like it looks really good. I didn't see anybody go through character creation. I didn't really get to see what detail like you could do and things like that. But what I saw people sharing was impressive. It made me think of
Black
I can't
Desert.
remember what that last game there was a game before. I don't remember if it was earlier
Dragon's
this year or
Dogma?
last
It was
year.
probably Dragon's Dogma.
That came out with a really good character creator, and there was a lot of character creation going around on the internet.
Yeah, it was definitely Dragon's Dogma.
Yeah, and I remember seeing like all of those, and I'm just like, oh, that's cool. And then this comes.
Do you know
through
what's
and
really
like,
funny about that?
Wow,
It's the same engine.
Yeah,
I was gonna say it's the
Capcom.
same engine, it's Capcom, so I'm sure like they saw how well that like character creator went off, and they were just like, well, maybe we can try and implement some of that.
Yeah, the character creator is pretty good because like here's the thing about like Bethesda's like RPGs, they give you a million options and it's like eye length, eye depth, eye width, eye depth, it's all that like just micro setting bullshit, right? But as for like this game's character creator, it's got those like little like green balls that like visualize like what's being changed, and I'm like, thank fuck, finally I can actually like know what's being changed instead of going like, what is this? What's this change? Like, what the fuck does
Wait,
this?
hold
do?
on.
Like,
Don't they have all those smaller changes? Like, aren't those
Bethesda?
there?
No.
No, not Bethesda. Capcom. Doesn't Capcom have all of those also, like more micro adjustments?
Oh, they
I might be
probably
mixing it up
do,
with
but
the
I just
Veiled-
saw the green dots and I'm like, oh, thank God. Like, just character creator for idiots like me.
Mm.
I mean, it sounds like, based off of how you just described it, they just took like some of the things that a developer, or an artist uses in a modeling program,
Yeah. And we're
what
allowed to change it
normally gets,
ourselves,
like,
yeah.
what normally gets like turned off and converted into sliders for the actual
Mhm.
game is just left in a like state that it's in when they're working with it in
Yeah,
house.
something
So it
like
allows
that.
for
but
those.
yeah, it's just
I'm gonna push back on this. I don't think that's true. I think
I'm
they
not
gave
saying
us
that's true. That's just what he made it sound like.
No. Let's to you more than that. I'm pretty sure they gave us a normal character creator with a blend mode.
yes, face blending. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I think that's all this is. Like, I'm going to give this a bunch of kudos because, like I said, this character creator is amazing, and it's turned out Yoshi P's and John Wick's, God damn it, Keanu Reeves and Frieza, which was interesting, and Daenerys Targaryen, and all of these
Frieza
characters.
was interesting.
But I don't think this inherently does anything different. I think they've just really gotten it down, especially after Dragon's Dogma, especially after Street Fighter 6, where everyone was allowed to make whatever freak they wanted in their create a character mode. And this just feels really refined. Matter of fact, the only thing that this could possibly do better, in my opinion, is steal the hair from BioWare. Because I have a lot of negative things to say about Veilguard, but that hair is amazing.
Well,
gotta say, Capcom can do a character creator, right? Because I
It's
realized as you
really
were
good.
talking, I was like, oh, Dragon's Dogma, Street Fighter, Monster Hunter. Yeah, these are all Capcom titles.
All Capcom games, yeah.
Yep, Capcom's got that character creator down.
Yep.
They got one guy. They got one guy locked in the basement, and it's like your job is to make a character creator and make it the best thing imaginable. You don't get food. You don't get to leave until it's better. It's amazing. And then when we release it in the next game, you get a few days off, and then we're locking you back in here for whatever game we're working on next. You can only improve it.
Yeah. No.
And I'm completely. That's completely a valid thought. You know, it's a Japanese company. It's I believe it's possible.
I won't argue against you.
But yeah, no, like this character creator is pretty good all around. Again, it just having those green dots made visualization of what's being changed helped me out a lot. So
I mean, yeah, and you might be right. I've played a couple of different RPGs now, and a couple of them have character creators. I might be confusing the sliders that I'm thinking of for like one of the BioWare ones, like the Veilguard stuff, or maybe it was in another game that had a character creator, but I feel like you had plenty of control over how you wanted your character to look in this one. Though admittedly, in past games, that's not been the Monster Hunter go-to. It's usually been, here's a couple of different choices. So it might just be pick two choices and
you wanna talk about Monster Hunter 4's character creator?
Anything before World was absolute trash.
But it's kind of like
you weren't building a character. It's like, all right, do you want to make like a male homunculi or a female homunculi because it's the armor that's your character?
Pretty much. Yeah. But yeah, no, character creator pretty good.
It's so good. Like, Jesus. What's more bizarre to me isn't that just the character creator itself is good. It's how good the characters look.
Oh.
Because you're mapping a character onto a skeleton that has to animate. It has a bunch of unique stuff that this character does in cutscenes. And this character also now speaks. So they've made all of that work. They've made all that work really well. I'm super impressed.
You know what? Actually, I do have one major complaint about the character creator. You cannot adjust your height, and it shits me off to no end.
Could you do that before?
No. The reason why I say this is because...
Oh, okay.
Oh my god. So, I made my guy look like he's in his mid-30s, right? And then we get into like the black and white cutscene when talking to the Admiral where the fuck he was. And then I literally just looked like a 17-year-old boy with a face of a 35-year-old. I was like, oh, ew, nah, ain't no way. It looked off. I hated it. It was gross.
Interesting.
What, did you guys...
I remember running into that issue.
Did you like make an anime boy, a young anime boy, and it just didn't...
No, I made myself. Well, that's not true. I made myself with better hair and prettier eyes.
I made myself but prettier. Yeah, that's a mood.
I made myself, but ideal.
I mean, that's what I always do with character creations. Is I just kind of make myself, but actually looks like a decent
Yeah,
living creature.
yeah. But yeah, just I don't know.
I might, unironically, I might actually try to like build a character that exists somewhere else, because you clearly can. Someone, again, just in case anyone missed this, they made Yoshi P.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck?
They made Keanu. They made Yoshi P. They made Nick Cage. I saw some Nick Cages
I'm not
out there.
surprised by that.
Did you? Oh, I didn't see
Yeah.
that.
I saw like somebody made like 4 different Nick Cages, I think, from different movies.
Oh,
At different points in his life.
Hell yeah.
So that was an interesting
Yeah,
bit.
fucking Hell Rider.
Yeah, there was some
Nick Cage.
there was some fun character creations going around.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Someone made an Abomination. I saw it with my own
There's
eyes.
a ton of those too.
Are you
But like,
talking about
like,
Dragon
the extremes
Age
are great.
abominations or like abominations?
No, like someone went out of their way to make something horrendous.
Oh, okay. I'm not surprised by that.
Like Ethis' Chungus.
Like fucking Chungus. Yes, correct.
No, I applaud anybody with the creativity to do those kind of cool things with character creations. Because, like I said, character creations, they always end up just being me. But you know, if I looked like a decent human being, I'm not sure that I am.
Same, bro.
Uh,
Me with an
I actually
8-pack
streamed the
and
other
just
day.
shredded and, you know, tall, handsome. Yeah.
But I will say I streamed the other day, and I streamed with my face cam on, and I didn't have anybody come in screaming and running in terror. So I was like, oh, this is improvements.
Victory. Victory. We're getting there.
But yeah, no, character creator, very cool to see what people come up with every time a game comes out with a character creator. I love to see what people get.
And I mean, honestly, how good your character creator is actually, in my opinion, pretty important for your first week sales, because people will be essentially doing free promotion for you.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Anything else about character creator? I mean, we're gonna get more options like later on. Like once we get like the new expansion, we're gonna get new, you know, hairstyles and all that.
Yeah, I don't think any of that will really shift it. I think it'll just be hairstyles and some new face paint and such like that.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I was really taken with it. My only downside, and this is super mean, I'm not keen on the male voices, and I haven't heard the female voices at all. So, that's
what I
want
to ask you, Dolls, since you're the voice actor guy. Is Alma Laura Bailey?
Almost certainly not.
Really? Oh, okay. Then I'm fucking crazy then, because I can hear Sarah, and I'm just like, wait, is this Laura Bailey? Can't be.
I don't think so. Laura does much voiceover work anymore.
I mean, I was just saying, like, fucking okay. I might be having a schizo moment, but you know, that's just me.
I'm not saying that she may not sound like Laura, but I'm just saying, like, I don't think Laura does much voiceover work anymore.
Right.
Well, first and foremost, we don't know anything about the actors yet, to my knowledge. I know that the Admiral was Christ, what's his name? Patrick Seitz. There we go. It happened. I got there. Patrick Seitz is almost certainly the Admiral. But other than that, I couldn't really pin the other voices, especially with how unique the default male hunter voice is. I feel like I should know it. But again, I'm not here for what they sound like. It's fine. They can sound like whatever they want. I am happy that they have voices now. I've always thought it was stupid that we were big dummies that just grunt and nod.
Like grunting and nodding.
It's something I still don't like in 14. But I know everyone has to be able to put themselves in their character. God forbid it's not a self-insert, but it's fine.
It's actually so funny because I'm fine with the nodding and grunting in Monster Hunter, but I with you, Dollar, I cannot fucking stand it in 14.
Just need a voice. But yeah, no, like they animate great. I was really pleased with what this allowed you to get away with. I get your comment on height, but I also know that they need these skeletons to be standardized. So
Yes. No. Oh no. I know why. Human sizes are like static and all that. It's just I just made an older looking person, and I literally look like I'm 16 years old in terms of like just body shape and all that.
you need
Even
to
though
bulk out. You need to add more muscle mass.
no, that's the thing. I did. I had like 15 muscle, and I was like fucking ripped, but like just my height, like by itself, was like, yeah, I'm 17 years old. I haven't hit puberty yet. It kind of felt like that.
Huh.
Like I don't know. I just didn't like it. That was just my one complaint about current CC, and yeah. Do we want to talk about Lamount? That is not going to be a chocobo once the 14 collab eventually comes around.
I don't have much to say about it that we haven't talked about before. It's great. It's a Palamute that lets you swap weapons. It's perfect.
Yep. I haven't really done much testing with the new mount. I just hope there's like an option to like press a certain like keybind or whatever, and it just like not only like auto travels, but like just also auto gathers as well. That'd be really
No,
nice.
they're not gonna be there's not gonna be an auto gather because that does require you to like look around and slinger for it.
No, yeah, no, you're right. Yeah.
Sounds like that is that was the beta. Any like final or closing thoughts y'all wanted to give on anything?
I genuinely think they should do another one. Not even being.
Oh yeah, actually, that was going to be my question that I forgot, but now that you've said it, yeah. Do you think we're going to get like a month, 3 weeks away, like last minute beta test?
I mean, probably, but I hope that they do one before that, specifically for PC, because the rough spots in this PC demo were rough.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to see those fixed in time for day one. I don't want this to be we just want to release the game and we'll fix it in a future patch. I don't want that. I want this game to launch with all of these things that we now know about 4 months out from the game being released. I want this done for release. So I would like to see a secondary beta and a proper beta. But I suspect we'll be, in fact, just getting a demo 2 weeks, maybe a week before it releases.
Oh, okay, well. Yeah, no, I'm fine with that. But yeah, no, definitely we should have another beta just to reassure, maybe not reassure, but like just to, yeah, fuck it, reassure like PC players, like, is our build better? Like, is everything
pretty much
good graphics wise? Yeah, that's.
It doesn't need to be a week long. It can be 2 days. Just let us get in there and let's make sure that it works. Because I like to see, this. I'm happy that this game is coming out on all platforms, and I'd like to see all platforms enjoy this game.
Yep. All platforms, initial crossplay, like it's fucking
barring that, I want them to do another round of a questionnaire. Because I think a lot of people during the testing phase and just after the testing phase are they're riding that high and they forget to do it.
Yeah.
I would like to see just another one go out.
I actually forgot to do it myself.
This is the thing.
Yeah. Oopsies.
I would like to see them send out another survey, said, did you play? Did you not play? If you played, what were your issues? If you didn't play, what are like turnoffs? What are things that if they happen, we would have to address? I would like to see time put into this game, hotfixing it prior to day one. But that's it. Otherwise, yeah, great time. It looks great. It played great. It was super stable on my rig, big old asterisk on that. And it had an absolute banger for the character creator. If they figure out the hit stun stuff, I'm in. I'm super in. And if they don't figure it out, I'm still in, but I'm in and angry at them.
And you won't like Jonathan be angry.
Yeah, I'm pretty much in a 100% echo with fucking Dollard here. Just the exact same thing. Like, I'm still going to play Switch Axe, but I'm going to be like, I'm going to be fucking
I'm going to be really pissy about it, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no. Yeah, it was good. It was good.
All right. Well, there you go, everybody. All of our listeners out there. That was Dalit and Nat's thoughts on the beta. Feel free to chime in with yours in the comment section down below on YouTube or Spotify. And let us know what you thought of it. Let us know what you're looking forward to. It, all those kind of things. You can also let us know over on Twitter at Celestia Radio PD. You can submit your topic ideas if you have them, questions, etc. and so forth in the aforementioned comment sections or with the hashtag AskCRP on Twitter. I do highly recommend everybody does that. We always enjoy some idea suggestions being thrown our way. And of course, share us with your friends. The best way you can show support here at Celestia Radio, as always. And yeah, we really appreciate y'all hanging out. As always, I said that so many times now, but we do appreciate it. And yeah, we will see you all in the next one. Fun stuff ahead.
Take care, everyone. Matt's gonna go sleep.
Be good.